how much money you've made so far in 2020.
In the books, we're at 100,100 and some change, something like that. I don't remember. It's over 100,000 at this point now.
You are a six-figure signing agent, man. Another episode of On the Road with the Loan Signing System with signing agent Pablo out in Colorado. How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing out there?
So good. Your story is crazy, inspiring, like all of these. Can you tell everybody how much money you've made so far in 2020?
In the books, we're at 100,100 and some change, something like that. I don't remember. It's over 100,000 at this point now.
You are a six-figure signing agent, man.
Yep.
How does that feel when you say that out loud?
Man, tell me, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing. Seriously, it feels so good. I mean, from where it came from to where we're at, yeah, I love it.
Oh, and I cannot wait to tell people where you came from to where you're at, because your story, like all of them are inspiring. Man, your story is inspiring on so many different levels. First off, this is not a story of like some of our other signing agent students who make, $10,000 in their third month. Like, you've been a loan signing system student for a year and a half. This is a slow and steady wins the race. So, I want people to be inspired by, like, if you just stick with it, you can get where Pablo's at, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. To me, it's basically like a race, like a marathon, not a sprint.
That's right.
It's slow and steady. I want to keep it going. So yeah, so what I do is just keep doing, working hard, and just having fun too. I ain't gonna lie, I'm having fun.
Having fun, right? It's the best business. Now, what I think makes your story even more inspiring is your six-figure signing agent only working with signing services.
That's correct. That is true. Yeah, man. I just because when I started with them, I built such a good relationship. And besides, they do all the marketing. They do the marketing. They do all the put the stuff out there. What I got to do? I just got to go print and go sign. So you know what? I just build relationships and make sure my work, just like you told us in the classes, it's about the quality of our work. So that's the main thing. I just make sure work is good, and I just started building a relationship with different people personally. And I get signing agents, companies who just call me personally directly. They don't even send me a text message at times. So
I love it. You've hit on so many amazing points. They do the marketing. Like, why would I do the marketing? I print and I go. I mean, people have this myth that, like, working for signing service isn't profitable. Working for signing service isn't as good as working direct. You're six figures. And I think, you're in Colorado Springs, Colorado. So it's not like you're in a major metropolitan area like Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Dallas. There's 400,000. Yeah. And you're north. That's right. And you're breaking down a lot of myths right now, man, as far as like, you can make six figures only working with signing services, and they do all the marketing for you. So for all those LSS students who are working just with signing services, be inspired by Pablo. We're going to tell you his journey. We're going to tell you his story, but let's talk about, how the income, right? So how much money are you making on average per signing from signing services?
Per signing,
Yeah.
I'd average about 100 per signing at minimum.
Right.
Some are more, but yeah, an average about 100 per signing. It was actually a thing I saw that you gave us in class. I went by that fee scale, and that's what I gave them, and that's what I've been going with.
Well, what I want to inspire people with is you made six figures. You do make six figures at $100 a pop. Again, there's a myth, Pablo, that you got to be making $200 a pop, $250 a pop. You're making $100 a signing. How many signings a day are you averaging?
Between 5 and 7 a day. I do. It's average.
Yeah.
Some days are more, some days are less, but yeah, on average 5 to 7.
Yeah, I mean, so you guys are hearing the math from Pablo right now. 5 to 7 signings a day at $500. I mean, $100 a pop. He's making anywhere from $500 to $700 a day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week. There's your $100,000 a year, right?
Right. Absolutely. I mean, it's just, like I said, it's just work, just doing the work, just doing, hustling, just doing the work, and just making sure everything is, on point when you're doing your work. You got to treat every signing as that first signing. I mean, you're not going to see that person again, but you're the representative of that company. So you know what I'm saying? All they're going to remember is what you did that day. They're not going to remember. They're not going to know that you're the fifth signing of the day. That's not, they don't care about that.
Well,
how you treat them.
you said something really cool, and you said it so quickly. It's like, you're representative of the signing service, right?
Absolutely.
You take your every signing very serious because you realize that I'm representing the signing service who hired me.
Right. Absolutely.
And I think there's a lot of signing services signing agents, excuse me, who don't take that serious. And there might be a reason why they're not making six figures through signing services, because the signing services who hire you know how serious you take the job. They know that you take it very serious, that you represent them. And I hope people being inspired by what you said, treat every signing like it's your first signing. And you're going to create relationships. So, the six figures you've made so far, and we're almost, I think we're like 10 days into December right now. So you just cracked $100,000, and you'll probably do 105, 108,000 by the time the year's done. But of the $100,000 a year you make, how many signing services are feeding you the majority of that business?
I'm going to say about four major ones that I work with consistently who feed me tons of work. Because again, as you pointed out, is you got to you're representing the company, you got to take it serious. They know that, and that's why they feed me tons of work, because I'm taking their stuff that they give me seriously per every signing, like it's a new signing, like it's just my first signing. And you got to take it serious. You can't just coast through it, because coasting through it, that lot of signing you're getting is going to shrink real quick.
I love that. The more you coast, the more it's going to shrink. It's the truth. And what I hope people got inspired by is, you have 4 signing services, you have great relationships. They call you first. And so to give people an idea, how many signing services you need to have really good relationships with? Pablo's telling you roughly about 4. Those 4 fitting in the majority. He's doing 5 to 7 every single day, like clockwork. And he made $100,000, man. How does that sound when I say that again?
Man, it sounds good. Say it again, man, because it sounds
$100,000, man. Not even done with this year.
No. You know what? I tell you what, January, when I entered the year, that was my goal. I said, I'm going to hit 100,000 this year. That was my goal.
Oh,
and every month, that was the thing I was saying. Every month I had a certain goal. I knew I had this amount to hit this amount. And I took every month by itself. I didn't try to do the whole, again, the marathon. I took every month on by itself. I didn't try to do the whole year. Every month was a new goal, little by little. That's, again, pace by pace. That's how I hit it, because I was just trying to pace myself, making sure I stayed on pace versus trying to do it all in one month, which wasn't going to happen. But
no, I think you just dropped some fire there, man. Every month you reassess your goals and make sure that your goals and you're on track to hit 6 figures. I think it's great that you set a goal after, we're going to get into your journey a little bit, but he's been a loan signing system student for about a year and a half. So after 6 months, what I'm trying to make a point of is after 6 months, you made a goal of $100,000.
Absolutely.
Some people would think you're crazy for setting a goal of $100,000 after 6 months, but what should scare all of us is setting goals so low that we actually hit them.
Right.
Not setting goals that are so big that we miss, but you set a goal so big and you still hit it, man. I'm so proud of you, Pablo. I hope I say that enough, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was it, man. I was watching people who hit 100,000. I was like, hey, if they can do it, I'm going to do it. I mean, ain't nothing stopping me but air and opportunity. So, I'm going to go for it.
I love it. I mean,
I said it.
Pablo, if you could build this business, do you think anyone could build this business, man?
Absolutely. Everybody could do it. But you got to put the time. You got to put the work in. That's all it is. If you don't put the time and work, you're not going to get where you're trying to get. I try to tell that to my kids too. You got to put the time and the work in it, because you got to pay the cost to be the boss. That's basically.
You got to pay the cost to be the boss. I love it. I always tell you students, this business isn't easy. It's simple.
Yeah.
But it's not easy.
It is.
You put in the work. I can't take credit for your work ethic. I can't take credit for you see $100 and you're excited about this. Some of our students who look down on $100. You're like, look, I can do 5 appointments a day at $100. You can be a 6-figure signing agent. The math is simple. This idea that you have to go direct and you have to do all the marketing. You got to go in uncomfortable conversations. Like you said, they market for me. What else do you want?
Right. I'm good with that. I'll make the money. They go ahead and market. I'm good with that. And again, I don't knock what everybody else do. I love what everybody else do. But for me, this is what's working for me. I got pace. Hey, it's just to say that I won't market myself one day out there, but right now, hey, I got the relationships and I'm working what I'm working with. So
It's a
I'm good
beautiful
where I'm
thing.
at.
It's a beautiful thing. And just to kind of to wrap up this part of your story, it's, the way you got these relationships was just putting your name and doing everything I taught you in the course, putting your name into like SnapDocs and all the signing agent platforms that I taught you and all the signing services. And
Yeah.
then once they gave you the appointments, you then took it upon yourself to create those relationships with those people. Kind of talk through that.
Yes. So there's appointments that I took, of it was simple, but the whole thing was just doing a lot of doing work with them. And because I had one gentleman who I had to go up and beyond. They wouldn't transfer the money for the sale he was trying to do, or the purchase for his daughter in North Carolina, I think it was something like that. And he had to go to the bank to get the check, 100,000, which I want to say stressful 20 minutes of me driving to the bank with that to UPS with that $100,000 check in the packet. I had to drive. It was stressful, but I got to UPS like right away. I was like, this got to go. I don't have 100,000 to give these people.
Right.
But and that's one of the scientists who loved that I did that for them, because they were like, because they, for whatever reason, his bank wouldn't transfer that amount because they didn't recognize who the title company was. So he had to withdraw that, a cashier's check, and they appreciated I got that out to them as quickly as possible. I took pictures of the check. I took pictures of what page I stapled it. I called them in the morning. Did you get the package? Do you see the check? No, because I don't have 100,000 laying around. I have it now, but I ain't got it laying around. But it was just one of those things that I just did it because it was the right thing to do. He was an older man, a retired military, really good, really nice old man. But I did it for him because it had to be done.
I love it. No, and I think what's inspiring is, everyone has the same opportunity you do. These signing services found you through SnapDocs, found you through 123 Notary, found you through all the other databases. There was no special way they found you. What was special was how you took it upon yourself to create the relationships.
Absolutely.
And now you have 4 main signing services over the past year and a half that feeds you 5, 6, 7 appointments every single day. So hope people are getting inspired that you can be a 6-figure signing agent in a medium-sized town. You don't need to be from a huge metropolitan city, and you can make 6 figures working at $100 a pop. And I'm excited for the future, man. Like you said, you haven't even started marketing direct yet.
Nope,
And you already made $100,000. Like, this is insane, man. Let's go.
Absolutely, man.
I love it. So I always ask you signing agents, you successful signing agents, and you're a 6-figure signing agent. That's
I'm gonna put that on a card. No, I'm kidding.
That sounds good. I love it. I'm happy for you, man. So I was actually curious, why did you make the leap to being a signing agent? We all have these stories and journeys of what even got you into this industry. And I think your journey of getting into the signing agent industry is as inspiring as the fact that you make $100,000 a year just working for signing services. So, if you'd like to share your story to inspire others, kind of talk through, how you found yourself into this industry.
Well, I lost my job. Not a common story, not a uncommon story.
Fortunately, you're right.
Yeah. And my wife was the only one working, and I was raised by a single mother who, even at the time in the 80s, she was making $210 at a factory job cleaning. That wasn't doing anything, but she made it happen. So, I was raised by a hardworking mom, you know what I'm saying? So not working really bothered me, and the burden on my wife. And then I took a job that was $12 an hour. 12 is better than 0. You know what I'm saying?
Let me just, I don't want to interrupt you mid-story, man, but that's crazy. You literally were working for $12 an hour before you became a signing agent.
Yeah, I was. It was as what I needed to do at the time to get something in the door. I didn't want to file unemployment. I just wanted to work. So, I was, working the job, but I was then, came across your course again, and I've been seeing you for about a year. So, but I didn't jump the leap. I was nervous. I was like, what if this is just another ad, another whatever fly by night thing. But I kept seeing you popping up in different notary companies, big companies, and those that were sponsored by the state of Colorado. And I'm like, some gotta be up with this guy. You know what I'm saying? I kept seeing your story, and your little video pop up, and I'm like, I need to take the faith. And like I said, I was still nervous. I still was like, I don't know if I should jump. You know what I'm saying? But it's
What's
like,
crazy, what's crazy is like, you know, you were making $12 an hour, right? I mean,
Mhm.
but I want people to be inspired that, you know, you could come from any background, right? I
That's-
mean, what
mhm.
was, if you don't mind telling, what was your job for $12 an hour?
It was a telemarketing sale type thing. It was a customer service. I take that back. And they did little sales, and you can make little commission. But the problem was the $12 job. I went through a temporary agency, so I wasn't making the money they were making. That they were getting a little commission. I was just making what the temporary agency was making. It was giving me the $12,
And so
unless
what
I got hired on.
you know, I was trying to get to is like, you know, you didn't come from a previous mortgage background, a previous notary background. Like this is like you
No,
were going from a temp sales job to being a notary signing agent. I'm just trying to
yeah,
inspire people. Like, you know, if you can go from 12 bucks an hour to being a
yeah.
6-figure signing agent.
Yeah, it was, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, there was, you're right, exactly. It was a temporary job. And I just was one of those things that when I saw your course again, I just said, you know what, whether it works or not, I need to take the plunge and see, you know, whether I'm going to be successful or I'm going to fail or what is going to be about it. So, you know what I'm saying? I still had to doubt my head, but I took the plunge and start taking your job, your course, listening to it while I was going to work and you know, on my phone. You know, I was listening to it, and you know, the more I listened to it, I was like, I was starting to get you know, a little like, maybe I will go ahead and try. You know what I'm saying? I was still kind of scared. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, you don't know,
I
but
appreciate you being so vulnerable, by the way. You know that I think there is a myth too that 6-figure signing agents are, you know, are just full of confidence when they start out. Like, oh, I just knew this was going to work. I was meant to do this gig. And, you know, I appreciate you sharing people like, look, I was nervous. I had my doubts. I was scared, you know.
mhm,
Let's talk about, you know, if you don't mind me kind of going back, because like you said
yeah,
earlier when you shared is like, you lost your job and that's not an uncommon story. Unfortunately, especially during COVID, it's not uncommon. What's
no,
what's uncommon, Pablo, is you're willing to share that, and I thank you for that. You know, and you talked
oh,
about like the burden that you didn't want to put on your wife, and you refused to go on unemployment, and you had to make something. I mean, what are some of those other feelings you had when you lost your job? I mean, you have a family, correct?
I do. It was just supporting the family and not knowing where to go, applying for jobs, not getting hired on for whatever various reasons. You know, it was frustrating because you know it's just like I was going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I had this $12 job. I had experience, you know, for the fields I was in, and nobody was hiring for whatever for various reasons. And I was going nowhere. I was just getting turned down after turned down after turned down. Go to interviews, do a second interview, do a third interview, get turned down because they decide to go somebody else. It was, you know, it was frustrating. It was just it was one of those things had to do something. And like I said, it was at the time before I took your course, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was just at a loss for
No,
that time.
I appreciate you saying that, and thank you, because you know you're not the only American who feels frustrated or feels at a loss when after they lose a job and they can't get hired. And I think it's inspiring that somebody who went from $12 an hour job to 6-figure signing agent who couldn't get a job, essentially, who was getting turned down. I mean, what were some of your feelings when you know you're getting turned down by company after company after company?
Man, it was just like what am I mean, because you know I'm thinking I'm getting older in my age. You know what I'm saying? Am I getting to that supposed age where nobody want to hire me because now I'm in my late 40s and they want younger kids who they can give these measly because I know what my worth is from my experience and am I asking for too much? Do I need to settle? And you know, it was just
Mm.
different feelings. And I was just like at a point I was like I'm not settling. I'm not going to settle. I need to do something, but you know, I didn't want to be unrealistic. I didn't want to continue burdening my wife. So it was one of those things that I had to do something, you know.
Yeah, no,
And
it's a beautiful story. I mean, like you were literally making $12 an hour
yes,
before you became a notary signing agent.
and not even working 40 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
You weren't
So
even working 40 hours. They weren't even giving you enough hours at 12 bucks an hour. I can only imagine what that felt like as a father and as a husband, and knowing that, you know, you want to contribute the way you were raised by your mom, you were saying. And
yeah,
so, you know, thank you for communicating that, because I want people to see that, like, if you can come from where you were to a six-figure signing agent, again, man, can anybody do this business?
Man, anybody can do this, man. I mean, seriously, again, it's just your mindset. You gotta be willing to put the work and do it. I mean, if you don't, you don't have the mindset, you're not gonna succeed. You have to have the mindset that you succeed. Whether it's six figures, whether it's 50,000, whether it's 80,000, whatever you hit, you just gotta have the mindset to work hard. That's basically it.
I love it. Let's talk through that if you don't mind, right? I mean, I want to get into the mindset of a six-figure signing agent. I mean, look, you're the upper echelon of a signing agent, man. I mean, when you hit that six-figure mark, like you are in that upper echelon of signing agents in this entire country. So I want you to speak about mindset and try to inspire what a six-figure signing agent thinks like, right? You're doing 5, 7 signings a day. I mean, how long are your days? I mean, like, tell me about the mindset of just like, I got to build this. I'm going to build it. Talk through that to inspire someone else what your mindset really is.
Well, what mindset, I mean, is working hard, is basically, doing the work and always being representing, because not only am I representing the company, I'm representing myself, because I'm also I'm independent of my own company. So there's a lot of things you're representing. And the whole thing is I take everything as a business, this is all business. This is not fun. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. I have fun, but it's business, and I had treated it as such. And while I'm out there, it's all about business, taking care, representing yourself and the company that whoever you may be signing for as a business. You know what I'm saying? So the mindset is always being serious. Now, if we have fun talking to, having jovial conversation, that's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I still make sure that we are still maintaining the business of the visit, which is the signing. So the whole thing is you gotta keep it professional. You gotta keep track, even though you have little fun and jokes and then fun, which I do. I have lots of it. But the whole thing is you got to keep it business and keep professional, and that's what I try to always do every single one, because again, you never know who you're gonna run across at any of these signings at all.
Well, I think you said something real. I think this whole mindset of business is very important to talk about right now, because especially for signing agents out there working for signing services. Unfortunately, a lot of signing agents feel like they work for the signing service instead of the signing service is their client.
Right.
You see that, the difference between mindset, right? There's Absolutely. A lot of signing agents out there that's like, oh, I work for signing services. No, when it clicks that the signing service is your client, when it clicks that even though you're working with signing services, not for, and you run it like a business and you treat it like a business, you can make a real income like a business. You're proof of it, 6 figures, right? And I think that mindset, like I own a business, I'm a business owner. I think it's such an important distinction that I think a lot of signing agents need to really hear from you, Pablo, is that when you treat this like a business, even though you're working exclusively with signing services,
right,
that you can create the income like a signing agent who works with title companies. It's no different. You don't treat this business any different than a signing agent who works with title companies, but you just happen to work with signing services. But again, you don't want to do the marketing. It's like, why would I market when I can just get a phone call? Yeah, I can do it. Yes, I can do it. Yes, I can do it. You do that 5 times a day, 7 times a day, you're a 6-figure signing agent, man. So thank you for allowing me to dig into your brain a little bit, because I think I hope the takeaway people got was this is 100% a business to you. And just because you're working with a signing service doesn't mean you approach it any differently than if somebody works with a title company. And
right, exactly.
These are your clients.
Yeah, they are, and I treat them, and I try to do the best work I can do for them, because I represent them when I'm out there.
That's right.
So I represent myself to them. I represent them when I'm out there. So I keep it linear the same way all the way through.
I hope people. I think you're dropping fire. I mean, like I said, these interviews are all about getting the mindset of big earners. And you just heard it from signing agent Pablo, man. So let's talk about earning, right? We're talking about earning now. So let's talk about your journey here. I think your income journey is as inspiring as any other part of your story. So you became a loan signing system student about 1.5 years ago, roughly, right? I think you said September 19th, something like that, correct? Okay, right. Cool. So let's take people through the last quarter of 2019, what your income looked like.
Okay.
So you got the course in September of 2019. How much you make in your first month?
I did it. I was still working at that little part-time, that little $12 job. So I did $1,200 that month.
Okay, cool.
And I had a match.
Your first month, Awesome. You're probably super juiced.
Yeah.
What you make that second month?
Second month, I decided to take the plunge
Mhm.
and I quit my job and I decided to go full time. In October, I did 43. And then I was telling you that 3 weeks into it, my wife, as I got home, comes to me and she goes, "Let me ask you a question." I said, "What's up?" She goes, "When did you quit your job?" I was like, 3 weeks ago.
Busted.
And she just looked at me, she was like, "Okay." And that was the end of the conversation. And I was like, "Okay."
All right, man.
Well,
Yeah, you're doing $4,300. You're numbered second month, so she had to be
right,
excited for you.
right.
I mean, I love this story, man. I mean, honestly, what is your wife thinking at this point? Your wife excited? She's like, "Oh my gosh,
Oh
man!"
man, she she is so proud of me. She's like, I knew you was gonna do it. She told me when I told her at the beginning of the year that I was gonna go for 100,000. She said, "You'll hit it." I was like, "Oh, thanks." But as time was progressing, and she was seeing me working hard, she saw the fire. I'm like, I'm going for it. I'm going for it. And she just like I said, she's been so. Matter of fact, I needed a printer when I first started, and I kid you not, $12 an hour. I had the money. She gave me her Xbox One to sell it, to go get a printer.
Oh man.
I've replaced it since. She has a new one. So
But I love it. I think that's another part of your journey that you didn't tell me earlier. It's like, look,
yeah, I know. It came to mind. I forgot. Yeah, I needed a printer, and she gave me her Xbox One to sell it, so I could go get a printer because I needed a printer.
honestly, man. I mean, think about this for a moment with me. You
Hmm.
guys literally had to sell possessions of yours
Yeah.
to fund your starting business, and you
Yep.
now make $100,000 a year,
And
dude.
things back, and then some.
I mean, that is so awesome to hear, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that tells me too is, first off, your wife is amazing to support you that
Yeah,
deeply.
she's an amazing woman.
But I want people to like hear like what self-belief can do, right? It's like you sold possessions to fund your business. At that
Absolutely.
moment, it was like you had a $12 an hour job. You were selling stuff out of your own home to fund a business that you now make six figures on. Man, I mean, that's a crazy awesome part of your journey that I'm glad you shared with us.
Yeah.
So let's kind of continue down this. So you made $4,300 your second month. What you make your third month?
Third month, November, I did about another 43 again. It was
Okay,
about the same. Yeah.
perfect. And what you make the last month in the 2019?
December, I was telling you this that I know I could have broke six, that I could have broke that 6,000. My mom was coming to visit, and I'm glad that I spent the time, especially with COVID that happened this year, that she's not able to come this year. I I kind of scaled back, so I did 48, but I know I would have hit six.
I mean, it's amazing. So, here's what I heard. First month, 23, second month, 4, third month, 4, fourth month, $5,000.
Yeah.
Those are amazing numbers, man. So let me ask you a question, right? We have some students, as you know, in this loan signing system family who are making $10,000 their second month, right? We have
Mhm.
the one and only Robin Schmidt out in Colorado who's doing astronomical numbers. So
Yeah, that's my girl Robin and Jason. What's up, y'all?
that's right. That's right. So my question to you is, you're making 4, 4, 5, right? I mean,
Mhm.
for lack of better words, you're not burning down the barn, but yet you're not getting discouraged by all these other people's big
Huh.
numbers. Talk through that, because I think there's some students we have who are making $3,500, $4,000, $4,500, and they literally get upset that they're not making $10,000 a month yet. And they get discouraged, like, oh my gosh, I see this student making $4,000, $10,000. How come I'm only making four?
Right.
How come those moments of discouragement never set in for you? Talk through that again, the mindset of a six-figure signing agent.
Well, the thing was is because they already been doing it. So for me, it was want to know what they learned to get there. So I know they knew a lot more. They had a lot more knowledge than me. So for me, it wasn't discouraged. It was more of an inspiration. I need to get there. So I need to learn what they know so I can get where they're at and try to pass them.
Yeah, I
I,
love
I'm trying to pass you.
it.
So my whole mindset was I need to learn what they know so I can get where they're at or go beyond where they're at. So it wasn't discouraging me because I was more of trying to soak in everything, all the nuggets from everywhere to get where I want to go. So
I hope everyone's listening to you, man. I mean, it can't get any
yeah,
more beautiful than that. Like, you have something to say?
I was gonna say between her and Taffy because that's another one I had. Taffy be killing it.
Taffy is crushing it, man. I love Taffy.
I even told her when she congratulated me on the 100,000. I said, I'm trying to grow up to be like you.
I love it. I love it. And that's the loan signing system family, right? Always congratulating each other, always pushing each other. But what I really heard you say, man, and I hope a lot of signing agents, a lot of our students are hearing this, is, you know, you're making 4,000, 4,000, 5,000, and you saw some of the bigger earners, and your thought wasn't like, oh man, why am I not there? It is, what are they doing that I don't know so I can copy them? And you went out and you talked to the Robins, and you went out and talked to the Taffneys, and that's what I hope people hear is, you know, I mean, for all intent and purposes, a $4,000 a month business is 50 grand a year. That's a solid business.
Yeah.
You don't need to compare your journey to anybody else's.
No, I don't, because like I said, everybody's journey is different, and everybody has a different path. Yes, I've seen those that 1,200 first month, 10,000. I was like, man, what they do? You know what I'm saying? But you know, I didn't get upset with them. I mean, that's the path. That's whatever they're doing is what works for them. But I gotta do what works for me. And for me, it was just slow and steady because I didn't want to burn myself out or do something so horrible, a horrible job that I end up basically getting myself right out of the business. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn that I have to pace myself, learn as I go, and build myself up. And then as I start learning more, I was looking, okay, my next goal is about, so yeah, I was calculating how many, to get 10,000 a month, I need this many a week. I need this many. I was doing that in the beginning, but again, I was still pacing myself. But yeah, I was calculating how many appointments I needed a week to make a certain amount of weeks so I could get 10,000.
I love it. And
the whole way long.
You're using them as inspiration, and that's what like someone should be inspired by Pablo right now. Whoever's watching this, you can be the next Pablo, and Pablo would tell you you can be the next Pablo, right?
You sure can. You sure can. You'll be beyond me. I'm doing what I'm doing. You do what you do. If you pass me, I'm gonna congratulate you. You know
That's the loan signing system way, man. We congratulate them. There's business for all of us. So let's jump into 2020, right? So you have a solid business being built in the last quarter of 2019. You're jumping into January. I mean, what are your numbers in January? Kind of talk everyone through your next, first quarter of 2020.
Yeah. So 2020 comes. My goal was I'm gonna hit 6,000. I want to break the 6,000 because of December. I broke it at 65. So I was like, okay. So now I usually did it in 3 months increments. So I said, all right, let's keep that 65. The next month I hit 73. I'm like, oh, okay. Now it's going to force me to break my 2,000 mark again. The third month I think it was 71. I think it was. I believe it was something like that. So I was like, well, I can't do 8,000 because I already hit 7,000. So I have to go to 9,000.
Love it.
Yeah. So I forced myself to go 1,000 up beyond what I was going to go to. So. Yeah, so again, every month it was, all right, this is my goal now. So I'm just pacing myself through the month. Where am I at? Okay, I need this. And I was just pacing myself just as like I said, weekly goals. I had my daily goals, but I had my weekly goals. And that's how I go to get to my monthly goal.
Well,
so,
I hope people understand how, or hearing is a better word, hearing how goal driven you are. Successful people, I have goals too. Successful people have goals. They set small goals, which equal big goals, which equal ginormous goals, which equals 6 figures a year. I'm going to keep saying that, man. I
love hearing it.
I'm so happy for you. And then hearing that your wife and you guys were selling stuff to fund your business, that gets me even more just happy for you and your family, man. I'm proud of you, Pablo. I hope you know that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate, everything I learned from you as well, man. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, I go back and just think about a lot of things that you taught me. And that was the main thing I appreciated is that you weren't, here I am talking to you. There's other courses you never talked to whoever created. I got to talk to you personally several times messengers. That's the main thing I always appreciate. And that's what made me believe in this program even more, because I was able to have access to you personally, not a secretary or a calling service, whatever. It was to you, and I appreciate it. And that's what pushed me more, because I was like, if I have access to you like that, then, it gave me that much more confidence to go on further and further in this thing, you know?
Yeah, you're welcome, man. I mean, look, I got in this business to help others because, I tell your students, like, the greatness is in you already. It's my job just to push it out of you, man. I can't take credit for your work ethic, for your tenacity, for your greatness. And Pablo, you found your vehicle, man. I mean, from $12 an hour to $500 a day in your sleep. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. So anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed your income journey. Now let's get into some good stuff here.
Okay.
I ask every of you successful signing agents, like, what is one piece of advice you would give a signing agent to help grow their business? What is that, Pablo?
One piece of advice, as I said earlier, mind who you sign with. Meaning, take everything serious because you do not know who you're gonna run across. I have a story. I shared it on our Colorado blog. I did a signing with this lady on a Friday. Great lady. Her and husband, we had a great time, great jokes. I did the sign. We completed, blah, blah, blah. Come Monday, I go to do a signing, and me and the lady, we were good. We were a nice lady was signing, and she just popped out and told me, she goes, you did a signing with my best friend on Friday. She had nothing but good things to say about you. You know what I'm saying? Just that blew my mind. And I had, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that just shows you just don't know who you come across, and you got to treat everybody that's good, because what you put out good will come back good, but if you put bad was going to come right back around. So you know what I'm saying? I just told you just got to mind who you talk to. You never know how that's going to come back around to you.
I love it. I think what I don't want being missed, by the way, is how meticulous you are with your business. You work with the signing service. They're your client.
Yes.
5 signings a day, 7 signings a day, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
But every signing is as important as the next signing. You're not rushing the appointments. You're not you don't treat the signing as a byproduct of the money you make. That's an important bit. This is like the largest financial transaction they may be making today or in their life. And I'm going to treat that signing with the utmost professionalism because they deserve it.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that's a byproduct of your mentality of I represent the signing service. So the signing service is sending you out, and you're taking your signing important enough because, like you said, you never know who the next signing is going to be with. You never know the feedback that's going to go back up towards your client, and make sure that everyone gets the proper due and balance of a good signing is what you're attributing your 6-figure business with.
Right. I have people who tell me all the time they appreciate that I don't rush into the signing. I mean, I have a set time that we get through all the time because everybody, I've gotten to that point where I kind of pace it to where I need it to be. But I tell people the same thing. This is your loan, not mine. I have no vested interest in this loan. You do. If you want to go through and read, who am I to tell you no? You're the one signing. I'm the guy just pointing where you're signing at. So and the people a lot of them pretty much all of them just about appreciate, that I, treat them as an individual, not as a number of, okay, hurry up, guy, I got my next signing to go to. I don't do that because again, this is not I'm buying, something at Best Buy. This is their home, you know what I'm saying? Where they live at, where they reside, where they make their family, so, I don't make them feel less than important, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do know what you're saying. And you just dropped fire. I mean, this is an amazing interview because you're literally getting a deep dive into the way a 6-figure signing agent thinks. It is you're meticulous about every single step of your process.
Mm-hmm.
One part of your process isn't more important than the other. And I hope people are really picking up about that. It's like, way you treat the signing service as your client, or way you treat the borrower, or the way you treat your work ethic. Like everything across the board is like successful people have successful habits because you can't turn on and off the way your success operates. And so whether it is a signing, if you want to read all you want, or, you want to go through it quick, we'll go through it quick. Whatever, I'm here to help facilitate your transaction, man. That's
exactly. Exactly what I tell them is at what pace you want to go. And when people, with COVID now, I have had people like, do you mind if we sit outside? I expected now cold is going to happen again. It is what it is. I'm like, no, you got to protect your family. You got to protect your home. And, I'm only here for however long the signing is. And usually when you sit outside in the cold, they're pretty fast to sign.
That's an interesting side.
You probably go in as quickly as possible.
That's so funny.
But you know what? In the summer, I didn't mind it. There's some beautiful houses I went. They had some beautiful decks. I got to sit out and just enjoy signing in the sun, and you know, I had a ball in the summer. I didn't mind sitting outside because some of these houses had some beautiful decks, and I was having a ball out there.
I
Just
love it, man. I
yeah,
love it. I mean, dude, I can feel your zest and passion for this industry. Like again, man, you found it. Like this is your calling, right? This is what you meant to do. And the crazy part is, Pete, you're working with signing services when and if ever you want to go direct. I mean, you're just barely scratching the surface of what you're capable of, my friend. I mean, a $200,000 a year business, I don't think is out of realistic possibilities for you. I mean, you're doing 5 to 7 signings a day. So you have your system down so pat and so strategic and your techniques down so good, you can do 5 to 7 signings a day.
mhm.
Imagine if you're making 150 on those.
Oh man, that's my goal now is to be what I did this year.
Love it. I love it. So I'm letting you know, man, if you keep thinking big on 2021 goals, I want you setting a goal for 150K, not 100K next year. Right?
I'm good with that. I'm
All
good
right.
with that.
Hold
I'm
that to
definitely
you,
good with
man.
that.
I love it. I always end every single interview with the same question, Pablo. You know, I want to kind of help the signing agent or the prospective signing agent watching who is kind of scared about becoming a signing agent. They're nervous, maybe that's a better word than scared. You know, I want them to see that a 6-figure signing agent in the beginning also had their doubts and whatnot. So what was that for you to help someone else with through their journey?
It was fear, just
Mm.
fear of failing. I mean, fear of basically messing everything up, making things worse. Fear of this is not going to work out. Fear that it was just fear. I mean, I I was just scared. I was just one of those things. Was just didn't know what to do, and I was scared, and I
Well,
knew.
let me ask you, and let me ask you, because I think that's beautiful that you were actually vulnerable enough to say you were scared. Was
Mhm.
it the fear of like, was it self-doubt? Like, am I capable? I've never been in the mortgage industry. You know, am I going to able to build a business? Am I actually going to be able to make money? What were you fearful of? You know, was it the doubt that you could build this business?
I had the fear again. It was the fear of failing,
Mm,
of falling on my face,
mm,
and it not working. But I also learned as one of the things that I remember and I've learned through this whole journey is that fear is inevitable or failing is inevitable, but getting up is a choice. You know
mm.
what I'm saying? So you're going to fail. You're going to at times, but are you going to stay down or are you going to get back up? And that's the thing I try to teach my kids is that you're gonna fail at times. You can't be scared. And that's the thing. I actually have it on my phone. It says that what is it? Risk is the down payment on success.
Oh, it's good, man. That's right.
Yeah. So I have that on my phone, and I carry that, and I have that message everywhere I go. And that's the thing. Risk is the down payment of success. You're gonna take a risk. You're gonna fail. It's just a question of are you gonna get up or are you just gonna stay down? And
You know, and I tell all you students and anybody watching, you know, it's like successful people have nerves. Successful people get scared. Successful people have that feeling in the stomach that just turns into a knot.
yes,
It's not that we don't get those feelings. What it
right.
is that we don't let those feelings prevent us, hold us back from building something that we can be proud of, something for our family, something that we can look in the mirror and be like, I did it. So I
Right.
appreciate you letting people know that, you know, you were fear of falling on your face, to use your exact words. And
Mm-hmm.
you didn't let that fear falling on your face prevent you from going all in, prevent you from becoming a business owner who is now wildly successful. And I thank you for saying that, because there's so many people here who, you know, listening, who have to really understand that success is one step past that comfort zone, because
Yeah.
nothing great was inside that great comfort zone. So, you know, thank you for saying that. I mean, kind of on our way out today, Pablo, is there any inspiring words? I mean, you're a 6-figure signing agent, like you made $100,000 just working with signing services. Is there anything that you want to just leave the audience with that will help them, just inspire them to pursue greatness? They can do it. You have the floor.
Well, like I said, it's just understand you got to work hard. You got to be on this all the time. You can't be afraid to fail. You're going to fall on your face at times. You're going to have a bad signing. It happens. All of us had them, but it's about what you do with that learning experience is where it determines whether you're going to succeed or you're going to fail. You know what I'm saying? That's basically it. You just got to make up your mind, that determination, whether you're going to go or you're going to soak in your failure. That's basically it.
I love it, man. Well, I'm gonna end with that. Congratulations on the 6-figure year. I can't be more proud of you, man. I cannot wait to see what your 2021 is gonna be like. Happy holidays, man. Until next time, man. Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.